So, what if your definition of purpose is exactly what is stopping you from finding it? A couple of days ago, I posted a poll here in my stories and I was announcing that I would give away a session. And I suggested a bit some themes for the people to vote which theme they would prefer to have this session. And for my surprise, I had 100% of votes in one subject, and it was to find life purpose. And the good news is that I decided to give not one session, but 7 sessions. And I will tell you more about it later on. Um, but I realized how deep is this subject, and it caused so much confusion that I decided to make this live to talk a little bit more about it with you, and also to bring some clarity on what is going to be the sessions. And to do that, I will share a little bit of my story because I think this way it's easier to understand some things, maybe to bring some clarity to you in your process. And when I was a kid, I already knew what I wanted to do in my life. I always knew that I wanted to be a fashion designer. And as my life went, happened, I made everything. I studied, I went to the university, and everything went well in this sense. I started to work actually before I even went to the university because I take some courses, and I never had an experience of working with something else other than design and fashion design. And as I studied and life went on and I was doing what I wanted to do, or what I always dreamed of, I started to come across some challenges. And with time, after 10 years working with it, I got to the point where I couldn't recognize myself. I got a bit lost. I lost this connection with my identity until the the point I actually asked to be fired, and I even told this to my manager, like I cannot recognize myself anymore. And even though it was very hard for me back then to realize that I was going so far apart from my personality, it was really important because then I opened up to receive guidance, to have some thoughts in the subject, to go through spirituality, to get to know myself better. And I made all kinds of holistic therapy you can think of. And finally, I came across this tool that is the 30-month calendar, or the Mayan calendar. And I am really glad that I had the chance to find it because it brought me many answers. And I think it would have spared me a lot of struggle if I could have found out about it before. And that's also why I'm really glad that today I can do that for other people, so that you don't have to struggle as I did to find the purpose. And so with all this spiritual search, and really trying to understand what I came here to do and what my purpose was in a very deep level, I understood finally that my purpose, your purpose, everybody's purpose is to reconcile with truth. And I believe each one of us has like a toolbox. And when we first of all recognize what are our gifts, our challenges, it's much more easy to find joy and to find value in what we do. And purpose is really related to the way we serve others. We liked so much to do that even if you are not recompensated financially for doing what you do, you still feel alive, you feel happy just by having the chance to do that. It's something that you do for others, but by trying to fulfill yourself. And in society, because of this sense of your purpose makes you feel alive by serving others, we associate that with work. And your work is not your purpose, it goes much beyond that. And I really like what Osho said once, that life is purposeless. And when you try to give life purpose, you are making a business out of it. And life is poetry, it's not a business. And there is this quality in the purpose that is to find the poetry in life. And this is a poetry that only you can read, because life happens in a unique way for you, in a way you perceive it. And well, I understand also that it's not affordable for everybody to do a session, to have a lot of therapy, and to really go to that search. And that's why I made a list in what I found very helpful to me to find the purpose, and that I would like to share with you now. And so the first thing in my list is to look at your story, because there's gold on it, especially the things that you felt ashamed of, because these are the things that you overcame, and there's a value for you, and you can help others. Because if you went through this situation, for sure there are many other people out there going the same, and that you could be helpful. So you really need to look to your story and find the value on it. The second thing, I'm checking my list so I don't forget anything. The things that you like to do while you're a child. And not only the things you like to do, but the qualities of it. In my case, I really like drawing. But then I realized it was not really drawing, it was the time I had with myself, because it was only then that I really felt at peace. And so, what were the qualities of these things that you used to do when you were a kid that you really liked? What came together with it beyond the act itself? And why did you stop like doing it? And when did you stop doing it? Because perhaps when you grew older, you start to see a need of making money out of it, or somebody said you were not good at it. Is that related to some kind of trauma? So you don't need to really answer it right here, but I just really would like to raise these questions. Then the third thing that I listed is a bit obvious: self-knowledge. Without that, you will not get any real conclusion. You will just be following somebody else's dreams. And by self-knowledge, I also talk about realizing this is a ongoing thing. It will never end, because we are always evolving, and our needs also evolve together with it. And we really have to be aware of our daily needs and daily desires, and who we are trying to become, and who we already are, and the gifts that we already harvest from the past. And then the fourth thing in my list is self-esteem. And this is really connected to the previous one, because I believe that we cannot like the things that we don't know. And while you don't make peace with your self-image, you will be perpetuating a cycle of what I do is not there yet. I'm not good enough. There's so many people out there doing so much better than me. You lose the sense of the place where you are, and this that you are in a journey and you just need to continue and give steps in order to really reach mastery, or to reach this level that you do it so much that you get comfortable of doing it. Then the fifth topic in my list is honesty. What are you afraid of? Um, in my case, I'm again I bring the examples because I think it's easier to give you some hints. In my case, it was really hard for me to assume that my purpose would require from me to become self-employed or entrepreneur, freelancer, whatever you like to call it. Because my whole life I worked and I had a salary, and it gave me a lot of stability and security. In the end of the month, I already knew how much I would make, and to go out of this cycle took a lot, and still takes a lot, of efforts from my part, and really getting used to it, and to make peace with this change. And so, in your case, what could be the things that are in certain way collaborating for you to remain without knowing your purpose, like still finding it? What are you gaining out of still trying to find the purpose and not really assuming it? And then the sixth point here, my list, is to make it your highest priority, because nothing is gonna happen while you don't take it as your ultimate goal. Taking consideration that live your purpose is the only thing that will make you feel fulfilled in life, and it requires seriousness on it. And for that, you also have to get rid of some distractions, and perhaps you will need to review your priorities in your daily routine. And so, to help you in this process, you can start, for example, taking notes of what are the qualities of the people you like, the people you admire, your mentors. What are these qualities they have that you really admire, that you really like? Because usually the things that we admire in others is they like are the same things, the same gifts that we have, and perhaps we just didn't allow them to flourish yet. Um, Also, what's your friends say that you have special? Because sometimes we have so much ease in some subjects, in some areas, that we don't even realize that we are good at it. And usually our friends are the ones to point that out, or family. And it's even a fun exercise to actually ask your friends, at least the closest, like three close friends, what about you they like the most, what they think you are good at, and I promise you the answers will surprise you. And then the last topic I listed here is experiment. And there is so much fear. As we become adults, we lose this quality of experimenting, and it's almost like everything that we do has to succeed, has to work uh, perfect and fine and go well, and otherwise we are a failure. And would be very interesting to bring back the qualities of the kids as we were as kids, the curiosity, like when you're learning to walk and you fall and then you go up again and then you try again, you don't lose it because you just fall, you just continue. It's natural, it's just part of the process of learning. And Perhaps this is what is holding you back, this fear of experimenting and the fear of failure, fear of judgment. And because of that, you just prefer to stay in your comfort zone. And for a while, it is going to be comfortable, but at some point, it will not bring you any fulfillment. And this is a choice that you have to make. And yeah, these are the main aspects. And as I bring this list to you, I hope you could have some thought about it. And I am sure it raised some questions. For example, when I talk to you about you have to be feeling good about yourself, about you, the way you perceive yourself, your self image, how does it sound to you? Do it feel like, does it feel that, oh, yeah, I'm pretty cool with my self image, or you doubt yourself, doubt your skills? Also, when I talked about having clarity and knowing the things that you liked to do when you were a kid, for example, does it come like does it come easily for you to remember, or is it challenging? Yeah, Stella now is commenting, she loved doing art, but what else about art was it being creative, giving yourself the chance to explore, to try, or maybe was just to appreciate the colors, even if it's something really simple. It's important to bring these characteristics. And is it clarity something easy for you or you struggle with? So I'm just giving you some examples of what I'm gonna work during these 7 days of sessions that will be entirely for free. So I chose some themes. It's not completely closed yet because I also want you to express what would be helpful to you. And so I can customize it to better serve you because I'm just doing it as a really like a personal gift and from me to you. And for example, we'll work on clarity, on self esteem, on topics related to the father mother. Are you imitating your father or your mother and forgetting to be yourself? Courage and things like that. So in these 7 days, I will be working with a tool called neurobiological deprogramming, where the goal is to remove from your cells the impacts that are not allowing you to fully express yourself, to be fully yourself, and to connect with your true essence. Um, these sessions will be sent in a group in the morning. They will have maximum, or at least I'll try to maximum be 15 minutes. You can do it while you go to work, you are commuting, for example, or you can take the time to simply feel the energy. And I will do some questions, and you will feel the energy. You have the time and the space to report it, how you felt, if you like or not. And so if you would like to take part on that, if you relate to this message, and if you know somebody that could benefit from it, please share, because then we can have a stronger group. And I am here because I believe who is living the purpose of their lives are happier people, and happier people don't bother others. And so that's the goal. And I hope you enjoy it as I am already enjoying it. I didn't even start it yet, but I'm super excited. It's gonna start on Wednesday, but as soon as you send me a message, send me please a direct message, and I'll place you in the group. And the sooner you can start to get in touch with this energy, with this healing, And yeah, that was it for today. I thank you for the time and for sharing with others if you feel like. So wish you a beautiful weekend and we see each other hopefully on Wednesday. Bye bye.